everybody? Welcome to episode number 83 here on season 1. Today, I'm tackling buying ETFs on Stash versus Robinhood. Yeah, look at how cool this microphone is. That's like totally childish. It's my son's, okay? He wanted it to be featured, so I took it. Okay? I took the bait. Anyways, this question comes from J.J. Thompson. No, J.J. Thomson, not Thompson, Thomson. And he says, isn't it possible to buy all the Stash ETFs on Robinhood without the need for a monthly fee? If so, would you recommend the same portfolio as the Stash one? The simple answer to that is yes. To the first question, the second answer is no. But I'll dive into why. So is it possible... So yes, it's possible to buy the same exact ETFs on Stash as it is on Robinhood. However, the reason why I don't recommend it or whatever, the reason why still Stash is a valuable asset to have is because Stash, you can buy a percent into that ETF. So like, for instance, I'm in one ETF on Stash. It's called Delicious Dividends. I'm also holding it on Robinhood at the same time. However, on Robinhood, in order to get into that, I had to pay $46 because that was the price of the ETF at that point. On Stash, though, I could get in at $20, and all I would have to put in is $20, and I could still be a holder into that ETF at $20. So that's the only difference, which means that when you go to dollar cost average or auto stash or anything like that, you can do that at a $5 increment and buy those shares. On Robinhood, though, if you wanted to dollar cost average that ETF, and you're like, oh, I want to do it weekly to dollar cost average that, you would be literally putting $200 into that share, which means that in order to diversify your portfolio correctly, you would probably need at least 5 to 10 more ETFs that you would be investing in. So that would be 200 times 5, which would be about $2,000 that you would be having to invest in a app like Robinhood to properly dollar cost average. However, on Stash, you could do literally $5 monthly, $5 weekly, and then you would have to do 5 times 5 is 25, so you could literally get away with doing $100 saving to diversify or whatever. So that's why Stash is still a valuable asset, because for people that don't have a whole lot of capital or don't make a lot of money to dollar cost average or to invest in general, it's really hard. So Stash is a great starting point. And I do think that as stuff goes on, I think that there will be better reasons to stick with a Stash than convert over to a Robinhood. However, I use both and I recommend both strongly. It's just kind of like one is simplified and one is really advanced. And that's why I don't recommend the same strategy. So would I recommend the same strategy on Robinhood and that kind of stuff compared to Stash? And the answer is no and yes. Yes, I would recommend it with the same account. You would get the same return. So all except you would just be... On Stash, you would be paying $1 a month, where on Robinhood, you wouldn't be paying anything. So that's the only difference, is that you would practically get the same return if you had the same account. However, on Robinhood, you can buy into specific company stocks. So you can buy into like Apple, Microsoft, Ford, U-Haul, like Home Depot. There's tons of other stocks that are traded on the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange that you can buy into. So that means that dividends become a bigger factor. So if there's a company like Coca-Cola that's paying a higher dividend than Johnson & Johnson, then maybe you shouldn't buy the ETF that holds both of those. Maybe you should buy Coca-Cola and get a higher return on your investment. So that's all I'm saying. And then also growth. So if you're investing in stocks for growth, then you can invest in, $10 stocks. I would say stay away from penny stocks because you're going to most likely lose money. Anything that's above $5 is going to be a lot safer to invest in. I would say anything over $20 is probably going to be pretty strong. So if you're investing for growth stocks, then you don't want to buy ETFs. You want to buy growth stocks. So it's kind of what your strategy is on Robinhood versus Stash. If you have the same, you're going to have the same return. So it really depends, honestly, like whether you're going to use the same strategy. It depends on what you want your rate of return to be. So if you want it to be 8%, then I would say, what's wrong with sticking with a Stash? You might actually beat the market on Stash because they have so many ETFs for you to invest in, and you can literally invest in like 3 and take your chance and probably get a higher return, but you could also lose, quite a bit. Same thing on Robinhood. If you did one spot in one stock and it was like a $2 stock and it went up to $30, you would be pretty rich. But it's completely up to you. You need a risk assessment and then turn that into what you want your rate of return to be, and then all that kind of stuff. So yes and no is my answer to that question. However, let's go ahead and dive into the question of the day. The question of the day is, how many pairs of shoes do you own? The answer is I own five pairs of shoes. So I have 2 like casual shoes, 1 pair of dress shoes, and 2 pairs of running shoes. That would be 5. And then I have 1 pair of cycling shoes. So the shoes that I wear the most are these casual shoes, but they're by Vivo Barefoot. They literally don't have shoestrings. I've had them for 2 years. Like, they're almost like house slippers now. So I need to get a new pair of shoes. I'm just kind of waiting for the price to be right on these exact shoes before I buy them again. Anyways, I hope that helps you, give you a little insight on why I have so many pairs of shoes, I guess. Anyways, if you guys have any questions regarding Stash, Acorns, or Robinhood, feel free to post them down below. I do also cover general investing advice, business, Etsy, and coaching. But those are always few and far between. And every now and again, you might see a random episode with someone popping up. Probably my son. But anyways, until next time, don't forget to subscribe up here and check out the top 3 ETFs on Stash. And then check out this other cool video right here. And until next time, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.